Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Utopia Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Maze of Memories. We got the new number 39 Utopia Rising in the Maze of Memories booster set. A really awesome card that can help just to set up some of your other Utopia monsters that have already been placed into the graveyard by being able to transfer its Xyz materials to those cards so you can use a wide variety of the many different Utopia cards we've gotten all the way from Lightning Overdrive up till Brothers of Legend with this new support and all of the other Utopia support that has been reprinted in the Legendary Duelist Season 3 and all of the other cards from the original Zexal series. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For our Utopia monsters, we're running 3 copies of Utopic Onomatopoeia. With this card being able to, it's always treated as a Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo card. During your main phase, you can special summon up to one of each Zubababa, Gagaga, and Gogo and or Dododo monsters from your hand in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Utopic Onomatopoeia once per turn. So it just gives you an easy add for those cards, being able to special summon one of each of the other monsters from your hand onto the field for that setup to go into your many different Xyz monsters. So it's a definite 3 of, just being able to also count as all those other cards for the many searches we have in the deck. I also run 3 copies of ZS Ascended Sage. If you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. A Utopia Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field gains the effect. If it's Xyz summoned, you can add 1 rank up magic normal spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of ZS Ascended Sage once per turn. So being able to search out those go-to rank up magic cards, whether it be your hyper rank up magic Utopia Force or our rank up magic Zexal Force, we have all of these search options thanks to our Ascended Sage, and just being able to have it special summon and then get our additional normal summon to go into our rank 4 Xyz play. I also run 3 copies of Utopia. If an Xyz monster on the field, or it's on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add 1 XYZ, Onamat, Zexal, or number spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You're going to use each effect of Utopia once per turn. So this gives you more of a search for the many different spells and traps that we run in the deck, having all of the many different words in their name. So it's a definite 3 of having this search option, just being able to send another card from our hand or field to the graveyard to give us that search for that other important card. Even if we have some, let's say, continuous cards face up, being able to send those other cards from the field as well can act as being already used for those cards and putting them to greater use for this search for Utopia. I also run 3 copies of Zubaba Bancho, Gagaga Coat, counting as a Zubaba and Gagaga monster if you control a Zubaba or Gagaga monster, except for Zubaba Bancho, Gagaga Coat. While this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can target 1 Gogogo or Dododo monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon from the extract for the rest of this turn, except for Xyz monsters, but thanks to the fact that Utopic Onomatopoeia counts as all of these cards can be another target for your Zubaba Bancho, Gagaga Coat, or going for our Dododo Dwarf Gogogo Club, which I'm also running 2 copies of. During your main phase, you can special summon a Zubababa or a Gagaga monster from your hand. If you control a Gogogo or Dododo monster, except for a Dododo Dwarf Gogogo Glove, while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, giving you more of a resource in the graveyard as another send target, let's say, for Utopia, because then you can just summon it back onto the field if you have the proper monster, aside from Utopia. For some of the lower numbers for the Utopia monsters, also 1 copy of ZS Arm Sage. If the only monster you control is a level 4 monster not named ZS Arm Sage, you can special summon this card from your hand. And a Utopia Xyz monster summoned with this card gains the effect of its Xyz summon. You can add 1 ZW monster from your deck to your hand. You only really need 1. There are specific ZW monsters we run in the deck, along with the 1 copy of Astral Karibo. You can reveal a number Xyz monster in your extra deck. Special summon this card from your hand. If you do, this card's level becomes the revealed monster's rank. Also, while face up on the monster zone. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for a number Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Astral Karibo once per turn. And a number Xyz monster you control that would use this card's material gains the effect. It cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects, making the Astral Karibo a pretty big powerhouse. I even considered maybe running 2 Utopia and 2 Astral Karibo, but it's player preference with those lineup. You can even drop down some of the ZW cards that we run for the Zexal weapons for these last and final spots, and increase the number of Astral Karibo that you run in the deck. But what's also great is for that search, just being able to have that option for you in this card. For the Zexal weapons, I run 1 copy of Pegasus Twin Saber, 1 copy of Tornado Bringer, and 1 copy of Lightning Blade for all of the different Zexal weapons, especially Twin Saber, just being able to have the option for the special summon of this card and set up some of our other Xyz monsters that we run in the extra deck as well, using it, including our ZW Dragonic Halberd, needing 2 level 5 monsters to summon out this card, giving you the search for more of your Zexal spell or traps because of it, and also just the added options with Tornado Bringer and Lightning Blade for their own destruction effects. Now that is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 copies of Onomatopyra. You go and activate 1 Onomatopyra per turn, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add up to 2 of these monsters from your deck to your hand, and you cannot add 2 of the same. You can add a Zubababa, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, and a Dododo monster. So you just have that search for your Utopic Onomatopoeia, and then any of the other ones that we run, whether it be Gagaga Coat or Go-Go-Go Glove, using this card. I also run 3 copies of Zexal Construction. With this card, reveal 1 card in your hand. If you do add 1 of the following cards from your deck to your hand, then shuffle the revealed card into the deck. It can be a ZW monster, a ZS monster, a Zexal spell or trap, a rank up magic spell, or a rank down magic spell. So you have all the search for a good variety of your Zexal weapons, or any of the ZS monsters as well. That's why it's okay to run the 1 copy of the ZS Arm Sage, because it can just be an easy search thanks to our Zexal Construction. I also run 3 copies of Onomato Pickup. With this card, when it's activated, you can add 1 Onomat card from your deck to your hand, except for Onomato Pickup, and you can target 1 Zubababa, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of this turn, meaning you can adjust some of the monsters on your field to become the needed rank if you have that monster to use for that special summon. For some of the one-ofs for the Zexal cards, I also run 1 copy of Rank Up Magic, Zexal Force, targeting an Xyz monster you control, and special summon from your extra deck 1 Utopia or ZW monster that is 1 rank up higher. So the easier way to get out your Zexal weapon Xyz monsters, being able just to rank up on top of that rank 4 monster that we already have with the Zexal weapon from the extra deck. The 1 hyper rank up magic, Utopia Force. So we have this to then summon out our bigger go-to rank 10, number 99, Utopia Dragonair, and also use it to then be able to attach as material onto those cards. The 1 XYZ Change Tactics, you can only control 1 of this card, so just being another card option to use. 1 Generation Force, if you control an Xyz monster, add 1 XYZ card from your deck to your hand, being a search for the XYZ Change Tactics, and also the 1 Double or Nothing for one of the signature go-to Utopia plays for the negated attack to then attack again and double its attack. And for some of the other spells, I run 3 copies of XYZ Import, one of my favorite to use in the deck, just as a way to take away from our opponent. You target an Xyz monster you control, and 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. Attach that opponent's monster onto your monster as material. So it can just take that resource for you to use as an additional Xyz material on the monster you have. With the last of these spells that we run in the deck, just being 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army, we run a good variety of warrior monsters, so just if you have to search out for the particular one with your Reinforcements of the Army. And for the traps, the only trap that I run on the deck is our Numbers Protector, a counter trap. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control a number Xyz monster, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. And if a number Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use 1 number protection effect per turn, and only once that turn. So with that, you have the negation effect during either turn, and then with the added destruction to reset this card back on the field means you have multiple times to activate this counter trap against your opponent and shut down a good number of cards they may try to use against you. And that is it for the main deck. Moving on now to the extra deck. For the Utopia monsters, I run 2 copies of number 39 Utopia. When a monster declares an attack, just being able to detach 1, negate the attack, and if it's targeted for attack while it has no material, destroy this card. But you have plenty of cards just to be able to reattach onto Utopia as material, so even before you do that, you should be able to at least rank this card up into another Utopia Xyz monster. For the new Utopia monster, I'm running 2 copies of number 39 Utopia Rising. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 number Xyz monster in your graveyard, except for number 39 Utopia Rising. Special summon it in defense position, then you can detach all materials from this card and attach them onto that monster. If you Xyz summon except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. So the option to put this card on the field just gives you a resource to once again rank up into another Utopia monster, but also being able to bring back some of your other Utopia monsters in the graveyard and then attach those materials onto it makes for an added burst of power thanks to this card. I also run 1 copy of ZS Utopic Sage. For the other option to detach 2 from this card to special summon a Zexal weapon monster from your deck, you can search out the 1-ofs that we run, just needing 2 level 4 monsters to summon out this card. The 1 number S39 Utopia Prime for an added additional material to Xyz summon using a number 39 Utopia to add more and more materials if we were to go into cards like our Utopia Dragonic Ray or our Utopia the Lightning as well, or our Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. You have all these rank 5 options thanks to our Zexal rank up card to go into, or even our number C39 Utopia Ray Victory. I like having all of these options available to us for us to go into in the deck as well. Now, the one thing I don't have in the deck, and that's just because I have sadly misplaced the card, I don't know where it is, and that is Utopia Double. So if you have that card, you can take out one of the next couple bigger Xyz monsters that I have in the deck. You do want to run the 1 ZW Dragonic Halberd and the ZW Leo Arms for the added Zexal weapons to equip onto your Utopia monsters. But if you have Utopia Double, you can take out the number 39 Utopia Beyond. I don't go into it often. It's just another rank 6 option to go into by ranking up with our rank 5 Utopia monsters. And the 1 number 99 Utopia Dragonar, and its target to summon out our number 38 Hope Harbinger, giving us a spell negation against our opponent. As for some of the go-to plays in the deck, I've done them before. They're pretty set and standard for the rank 4 Xyz plays, but if you can summon up your go-to monsters, whether it be the special summon Ascended Sage, and then also being able to summon out your Onomatopoeia, and with that give you an additional special summon of a monster from your hand, being the Zubababa monster of choice, you can use these cards for that summon, and then go for the Xyz play of choice, depending on which one you want to go into. Your start will obviously be your number 39 Utopia, because then with those additional searches, if you were able to get out an additional monster for the next rank up play, you can summon out cards like Astraltopia and then have the discard to add either the needed Onomata, Zexal card, you name it, with your Astraltopia before overlaying into your next go-to card, which just for the setup can be your ZS Utopic Sage, being able to detach 2 from this card to special summon out the Zexal weapon of your choice onto the field as well, and then having that option to equip onto your Utopia with the Zexal weapon that you summon out. But then also the big play comes after all of these plays have been used. If your opponent somehow manages to get over these monsters, if you can make another Xyz play to go into with your cards, and also having the rank up play with your Ascended Sage if you do use it for that play. If you go for the additional summon of your monster, let's say you go into your Utopia Rising, you can then use Rising to detach 2, but you also gain the additional effect of your, when it's Xyz summon, of your Ascended Sage to add the rank up magic spell of your choice. So then you got that. You can summon back your Utopia monster from the graveyard. You can reattach those materials onto that monster you just summoned back, and then use the rank up spell you searched with the Ascended Sage to rank up the now materialless Utopia Rising into one of your bigger Utopia monsters of choice, being able to then have that play for the stronger Xyz while making use of having 2 monsters on the field thanks to that card. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I always love updating Utopia, and it has been a good while, I'd say, since we got some pretty strong support. We may see another couple decks from main characters get support before Utopia, but I would definitely like to see their take on what we would get for new support as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira, Twig out.